Not to go on like a rant ramble thing here, but just a heads up, it's not scripted, so it's going to be cuts and pauses and edits, and it's going to be all over the place, and who knows if it's going to make a lick of sense by the end of it. But I wanted to do it this way because it makes it more like raw and real per se, which is kind of the whole idea behind and I'll kind of talk about that. The whole idea behind it is that it is, you know, it is like a real interaction, even though it's artificial and recorded and really impersonal, because I'm just talking to a screen and you're listening to a screen, and it's all just this like illusion of social connection. So I've been thinking a lot about vlogs and TV lately, and just the whole, I don't know, obsession with them and how different they really are. I'm not for sure, because I don't know if people watch them for the same reasons, or not. And I was trying to think of why I've watched TV in my life and watch vlogs, but like why vlogs are so capturing to people's attention and so entertaining, and it's for the same reason as TV or not, I'm not for sure. So, and like the beauty of television and vlogs too is it's the idea of being stimulated and entertained without you having to do anything or give anything. You can just be completely at rest. You're just receiving all of it, and you don't have to give anything back, and that's what's so powerful, and that's why people spend so much time with it, because in real life there's nothing like that. You always have to, it's a push and pull. There's never just like a one-way part of it, but with TV there is. Like, it's all just like for you, and the reason it exists is for you to watch, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything or think about anything or be doing anything or look a certain way or think about. You have to do nothing except for watch it. And you don't even really have to watch it. The TV people care more about like whether the TV is on, I think, honestly. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but then I was also thinking about, actors and like how people that make vlogs are essentially actors themselves, and we watch movies and TV and stuff, like we really have a high expectation for actors, when with vlogs I'm not for sure if the same standards apply. And I mean, what does it mean to be a good actor or a bad actor? And I'm thinking about it, and it's like a good actor can play their character and play their role and act completely as if like it's not self-conscious. It's like they just are doing it as if there's not a camera there, as if no one's watching. And it's funny because when like filmmakers and stuff call that acting natural, when it's really the most unnatural thing, because all of us in our real lives, we're always self-conscious. I mean, about the way we appear to people, how we act, how we think, how we dress, how we speak. We're incapable of doing anything else. And so that's what's so attractive about these great actors, is that they can make it so effortless. And it's this like dream world where you can just like be who you are, and even though it's a character and it's not who the actor is, they're not playing themselves. And I'm sure, who knows how they are in real life. I can't generalize all actors, but many of them are probably very self-conscious in their day-to-day interactions and social whatnots, and I don't know what it is. And I almost think it's to be able to be these great actors and to act natural in front of camera and things like that. It's not like a lack of self-awareness or self-consciousness, it's almost like the pinnacle of it. You have to know what it feels like to feel self-conscious. You have to know what it looks like to look self-conscious. And you have to be aware of all this and at the same time do none of those things. But with the vast majority of vloggers, they're not playing a character per se. They're portraying themselves. I mean, the whole point of the vlog is that it's like a slice of their life. It's like a slice of their life, and they're just showing you like what goes on in their day. I mean, obviously there's embellishments and all these things, but you know, that's the base premise, at least for a lot of vlogs. Not all of them, but a lot. And I guess that's what, and just keep going back and forth, but the main point I was trying to get to is like what makes it so entertaining. Because a lot of vlogs, I mean, the Jake Paul vlogs and things like that are a glaring exception in everything I'm trying to say here, but it's what makes it entertaining is not that they're trying to make their lives look so flashy and exorbitant and exciting. I mean, the vast majority of vlogs are like people talking or driving to Starbucks or getting the mail or like eating food. I mean, these are not exciting, enticing things that you can't do in your normal life. So it's not this escapism like into a dragon realm or something, you know what I mean? And like for example, we'll take something called like mukbang or something like that in I think South Korea is where it was originated, and it's people do like live streams of them eating, and people tune in when they're eating lunch and like eat with this other person virtually. I mean, how crazy is that? And that's like so that you can have that social interaction without having to do anything. Like, oh, you can just sit alone and eat your lunch. It doesn't matter what you're eating or anything, and you can eat and slurp and fart and do whatever you want and no consequence, and you get to have the stimulation of conversation, of someone being there with you. It's fascinating to me, and I don't know, I guess I'm just interested in seeing what researchers come up with and what writers come up with about the whole vlogging thing, because I mean, plenty's been studied and written about TV, and it's sort of interesting, but it's a little bit dated now, and we're not so much that generation, you know, the TV generation, we're the internet generation. And so I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what the consequences are, and yeah, what people come up with to say about it, because I'm not really saying anything, I'm not coming up with any grand whatever here, I'm just spouting, but I don't know, it fascinates me. And the thing about it all is that it's not voyeurism. Voyeurism requires that the person you are watching does not know you are watching them. That's what makes it so exciting and exhilarating. And so with TV and vlogs, not only do they know you're watching them, it depends on you watching them. The entire act of it, or whatever phenomenon of it, requires you to watch it. And so that sucks any voyeurism right out of it. And I don't know. So what does make it so entertaining? And with back to the actors thing, I mean, it's like uncomfortable to see someone that's uncomfortable in front of a camera because they're acting all stiff, or they're spazzing out and just mumbling, or they're just like going on and on and on about nothing and don't know when to stop. And it's these like nervous, self-conscious things. Like, these are cringy to us. Like, we're so hyper aware of them, and you know, we're conscious of them. And I think there's something there. And like the most popular vloggers and stuff, like, they're so natural in front of the camera, just like those actors are. But the difference is they're not necessarily playing a character because they're supposed to be portraying themselves. I guess what makes it so pleasing is that because they're not playing a character necessarily, because they're playing themselves, which is a character in and of itself because of the whole vlog scenario, is it makes it like believable that someone could be that not self-conscious. Because if you watch Casey Neistat vlogs, he is Casey Neistat playing Casey Neistat, and the Casey Neistat that you see in front of the camera is not self-conscious at all. I mean, he's got he looks kind of like a rat. I mean, but in front of the camera, he's just whatever, he has all this confidence and all this effortless showmanship, and it's like, wow, I could be that, is kind of what I see. And it's sort of like a dream or a goal or whatever that, that in real life I will be able to play the character of myself and appear effortless and appear unself-conscious. And that's, I guess, the ultimate dream or ultimate goal. And this isn't to cast the viewer of vlogs in a negative light. I mean, and to tell you the truth, the recorder of vlogs is in a very similar position. I mean, how amazing is it to be able to parse together exactly what you want to say, exactly how you want to say it, appear exactly how you want to appear, and then portray it to the world. It's incredibly powerful. In real life, there's no edits, there's no undos. It is what it is. But with vlogs, you can sort of manufacture this idealistic view of yourself, and throughout that entire process, no one's watching. They only get to see the finished product. They don't see all the blooper reel per se. And you do all sorts of Photoshop and color correction and grading and different effects and stuff to make you look different than how you actually look in real life, and all this, and put on makeup and everything. And the whole time you're just talking to a camera. You're just talking to this electronic device. You don't really have to feel self-conscious about anything because it's not going to judge you. It's not going to say anything or comment or look displeased or tap its foot like it's bored and wants to go. You don't have any of this. You just get to talk freely, which is pretty powerful too. And the other thing about it is that there's no trickery, no smoke and mirrors, no deception. It's all everyone involved is so aware of it all. The content creators and stuff are so conscious of things that are clickbait and making things clickbait, and everyone knows what clickbait is, and we still click on it. I mean, that's the thing. No one's getting tricked. We're all aware of what it is, but it doesn't change how the world actually looks, and we know that it doesn't look like it does in the movies or on TV. And we're not being fooled into thinking that that's how life actually is. We know it's not, but for some reason it's compelling to us, and I don't know if it's because that's how we want or wish the world to look like or be, want it to be exciting and pretty and cool and fun and all these things, or what, I don't know. Wallace, and in it was sort of suggested that, as a people we've sort of gone from beers and doers to watchers and appearers, and not necessarily casting this as a doomsday light, but it is interesting that this self-consciousness of it all, and there's so much awareness and self-referential stuff. Vlogs know that they are vlogs, and they reference the fact that they're vlogs. They reference the fact that they're looking for content to put in the vlogs, and this stuff is in the vlog. It's all so self-conscious. I don't know. It's really interesting to me. Also, this isn't to say that there's not entertainment or high production value, or I don't know what to call it, crazy wild stuff in vlogs. I mean, there's plenty of that too, and obviously, people doing extreme stunts and stuff like that's going to get more views than someone slowly eating a piece of pizza. I am aware of that, but it's the entire concept of do it for the views. I mean, they even include this in vlogs. They'll be recording and someone will say, do something ridiculous. Do it for the vlog, do it for the views. and they'll go, yeah, and then eventually they'll do it. And like they're doing this whole performance, and you're seeing that they're doing it just for the views. And even if you weren't, you know that that's why they're doing it, and yet it doesn't really change its entertainment value, because you don't really have to, I mean, at least speaking for myself, I don't have to suspend my disbelief that it isn't a performance. I mean, I know that it is, but it doesn't make it less entertaining for me, and I'm assuming for most people too. Now, the difference is with children, which I don't really know enough about, and haven't thought about it enough to really say anything too intellectual or comprehensible about it, but it's the, what effect this has, because maybe they aren't aware of how, like, much of a creation it is, and that it's all just, it's not a representation of real life, like, because if it was, it wouldn't be interesting. It's an illusion of a representation of life. That's what is so exciting about it. I mean, I could upload a 4-hour video of, I don't know, me setting a tripod up in the woods or something, and like no one's gonna watch that. That's not entertaining. It's real life. And if I were to record same thing, okay, fine, don't do nature, do people. Take a tripod and set it up in a public place and record people. But then it becomes the voyeurism thing, which we were just talking about. That's exactly what none of this is. It's not voyeurism. It's all performed. And if you're young and you don't have this realization that it is a performance, I'm wondering what sort of impact that will have on your worldview and your perception, and how that will, really affect your development, especially social development. Imagine yourself as like a shut-in kid, and instead of, I don't know if it's any different or not. Like, instead of engrossing yourself into these like fantasy worlds of books and movies and video games and TV, if you were to engross in these like illusions of reality that people have crafted online, I don't know if that's different. I don't know how that's different. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. I don't know, but there's something I was thinking about. I need to look more into it and see what someone smarter than myself is saying about it, because I don't know, I'm just kind of a rambler. Anyway.